Hey there, seekers of spiritual, tangible results.
Welcome to the no-nonsense zone, where common sense meets the spiritual. I'm Jason Parks.
I'm Emma Romano, your unapologetically real spiritual guides.
We don't sugarcoat, we don't dance around the woo-woo, we just deliver the raw, kick-ass truth.
Join us each episode as we dive deep into the mystical, cut through the bullshit, and show you how to manifest the tangible results you've been craving for.
No fluff, no filters, just two mentors on a mission to elevate your mind, body and soul.
Get ready to transform your life like never before. This is Soul Aligned Results, where spirituality meets the real world. Welcome everybody. This is Soul Aligned Results with
Jason Parks and Emma Romano.
And Emma Romano. Guys, today's going to be a big one. It's inspired by seeing a lot of relationships, couples at the moment. And there's a word that's a really great word that gets thrown around a lot. It's called narcissism. And people are always talking about, oh, my partner's a narcissist, so this is what's happening. My partner's a narcissist, and that's what's happening. So there's a couple of questions I ask to see if somebody's a narcissist or not. And majority, 99.9% of the problems when I have couples coming in is not around narcissism. It's around emotional unintelligence, which means people are stunted emotionally. And it's usually from childhood. I'll give it, we've all been through it. And I did this also to my children. You know, when you're a kid and you cry and then your parent goes, what have you got to cry about? Suck it up. Get over it. You're 5. You got no problems, right? So what that does, it shuts down the opportunity for yourself to process an emotion. And it also makes you go, wow, my emotion is wrong.
Yeah, completely invalidates your experience of life.
That's it. There's a great example I want to show people, and you'll all go, oh my God. And we've all done it. So say you've got 2 kids and they're little. And I watched my little nephew, Anthony, he was about, he's 10 now, is what happened when he was 7. We're at it was actually my son's birthday party. He was 18, he was getting all the presents. And little Anthony threw a tantrum because he wasn't getting the presents. And I saw everybody trying to calm him down. Anyway, I sat with him and I went, what's going on, mate? He goes, I want the presents. And he was jealous.
Yeah.
And I went, yep, I get it too. I want the presents as well. And he just stopped and he looked at me and goes, what? I went, yeah, I get it. I love presents. And I just sat there and he just could have looked at me. And what happened was I didn't try to shut him up. I mean, I wish I'd known this when my children were younger, by the way. Because, yeah, my nieces and nephews get the better part of me than my children got when because I didn't know this stuff.
Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah, exactly. But instead of making him wrong or try to go, no, it's not your turn. You had your turn another time. You're allowed to feel jealousy. You're allowed to process it, because what happens if he's not given the opportunity at 7 to process it, he now has a connection in his unconscious mind and a neuro pathway. Now I'm going into science. He now has a connection to the neuro pathway that this feeling of jealousy or this feeling of lack or this feeling of wrongness upsets other people, and he has to shut it down.
Yeah.
But here's the clincher. It still sits in his body.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we don't process something, it's like if you have sour milk in the fridge, what do? You pour it down the sink first, and then you wash out the container, you throw the container away. What we're doing by not allowing ourselves to process emotions or others to process their emotions, we're leaving the sour milk in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then one day you'll open the fridge after going to the supermarket and you'll want to stack the fridge. You go, oh my God, there's no room in here. There's no room in here for the fresh veg and the fresh milk and the bread, and it's just full of sour milk.
Yeah.
And this is what happens in relationships. We will blame narcissism I'm going to say something that's going to upset a lot of people. Jason, are you ready?
Well, far away.
Ah, when you blame your partner for narcissism, it's a cop out to your own emotional unintelligence.
Oh yes, it's a really important point because narcissism. The issue with narcissism is that it is reasonably rare, even though it's becoming more
It's
common.
You
It's
have no
still
idea how rare
reasonably,
it is. It's like
yeah,
1 in 500,000 people have narcissism because they're the people but it's a chemical imbalance. But what
yeah. It's
most people are talking about is behavioral stuff
behavioral stuff, yeah.
because
So
they're in
that's exactly right.
survival mode and I just have to protect myself in this moment now.
Exactly. And that cop out, because that's the important part of it, is that it's all about where our power is, isn't it? As soon as we hand it over to a label and we say, oh, they're narcissistic, then what happens is we just hand away all of our power to make any change and have a better quality relationship.
And I've been working with a couple now for a little while and they're amazing. I love them. And they've got two children. They're two adult children still living at home, like me. And she is in complete control. So she nags a lot. She wants to control everything, but she says she can't stop controlling until he steps up. He says, I can't step up unless she lets me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So we're at this loggerheads. And I just said to them the other day, it was like a little bit emergency conversation Saturday morning. I said, which one of you is going to be intelligent enough to stop the behavior that you're constantly doing that's creating these behaviors that you're constantly doing?
yeah.
And they both shut up. They went, oh. And I went, you're just sitting there blaming. And I'm gonna express something that I found in my own, just in my own practice, in my own research. Where this come from is one word and it's competition.
Yeah.
So couples go into competition of who's got it worse, competition of who's had the worst day, competition of who's got it the hardest.
Yeah,
It's this competition and I think we not think couples need to stop competing against each other unless it's in Uno.
yeah.
If it's a
That can
board
get
game
ugly
or
enough.
a tennis game, go for it. Get competitive, right?
Yeah,
But don't compete against each other of who's having the hardest time
yeah,
because it's just a bum fight. And there's this other thing. I'm giving away snippets of things that I just want people to grasp on. There's this thing called shame celebrating, and this is what it looks like. I used to do it a lot. My son Jack pulled me up on this. And I think he's what, 23 now? He must have been about 15 when he said it to me. I would shame celebrate. So it would be things like this. Jack, I'm so glad you did your room. That's awesome, buddy. Could have done that a week ago,
yeah, yeah.
right? Jack, well done, mate. You're studying. Good boy. Would have been easy if you'd have done this from day one. So it's a shame celebrate.
Yeah.
We have to just celebrate and then take out the shame. It's things like saying, I don't know, for instance, of course you can do that. I keep telling you you can.
Yes. Yeah.
We need to pull out that I keep telling you you can. That's the shame. And that's why if you've got a partner, women will have a lot of this. Women will have a partner who they go, God, he goes to the supermarket for me and rings me 5 times just to find out what kind of butter. It drives me nuts. That's because you have created a man who's too fucking scared to go and buy butter.
Right. That's very right. Yeah.
That's what it is. So
Yeah.
I also get couples who go, he doesn't tell me anything. I tell him everything, but he doesn't tell me anything. I went, is he safe to tell you? And
Mm.
they go, of course. Go, show me what it looks like. And there'll be a shame in it.
Yeah.
So I give you an example. It could be, I bought $1,000 worth of stocks and 6 months ago, and I lost $1,000. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me 6 months ago? And the guy will go, because it's 6 months of nagging compared to just if you find out it might be just we'll start the nagging now.
Yeah,
Because no matter what, I'm going to get punished. And
yeah.
then the woman will go, that's not true. And they'll start yelling. And I'm like, you're doing it now.
You always do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're doing it now. And this is not just women, this is men as well. Like, this is just examples.
yeah, that's
This is not just women who do this.
yeah,
I want to make that clear. But I think it's, I think it's helpful when I can talk about clients and myself and my own personal experience for people, because the more we go into blaming and trying to control somebody else, we're losing the opportunity of going, well, what's my part in this? Am
yeah,
I enabling this? Am I creating this? Yes, yes, you are. Because whatever our reality is, we are creating this reality. And there's something else. I'm just kind of giving all these little pointers, and people might have to kind of write these down, I'm guessing, or go back. But I think people who are in a relationship that's stale, and it could be even with children, with friends, with family members, with your business, with your own self, is because you're looking through a lens of blame instead of looking through the lens of opportunity to change.
yeah,
And I think that's a big one. I feel we all need to fall in love with the opportunities of change instead of throwing tantrums around why I'm not the one who should change,
yeah,
why it's up to somebody else. I really believe, like, in my household here, I used to jump up and down, wanting everyone to change around me, and nothing was getting done. But even if it was getting done, I wasn't seeing it because I only had the glasses on that said, I'm right and you're all wrong.
yeah.
That's the competition.
It's a really important point. It's one of the things I just said a minute ago about, you always do this. It's in that competition, what's happening in that is we're really getting caught in the past. And we're using this thing that I'm talking a lot about now is a burden of proof. So we will look at our power disappears because of a burden of proof. We can look at it and say, um, I want to like a person can get up and say, all right, I want to lose weight, or I want to change my relationship. I want to have a better relationship. And then they watch somebody do something that they don't have control over. There's the first bit. So now I'm in my shame,
Yeah.
right? So I watch them. I don't have control over that. I don't like it. I don't know what to do with it. So what I do is I go to my big bucket of proof and I pull out all of these things. It's like, you know what? You always do this. You did it last week. You did it the week before. You did it the week before. And now I've built this impenetrable fortress of being right. And change happens because it's not about being wrong, but it's going, are there alternatives?
And it's not, you're right. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about where can I upgrade myself?
Yeah.
Where can I upgrade? Like, what can I shed and where can I be better?
Yeah. The thing about having any genuine power, which is an ability for you to act, is that it has to come back to you. It's cause and effect. I have to
Yeah.
look at it and go, what do I have control of? Because what I don't have control of, I don't have control of. And the more I'm focused on it, the less I'm focused on what I do have control. So it's a crazy thing that the mind does, but it's an extremely important point what you're making, because that emotional unintelligence is actually it's an opportunity closer. So every time I get an opportunity, I shut the door because I'm looking back when I didn't have an opportunity and trying to reinforce that as my present reality, you know? So it's a really big point. The we want to keep that as open as possible. I had a teacher years ago, heard him say this it was like a throwaway line. A person said about relationships and about, how you have sustainable love in a long-term relationship. And he said, well, yeah, for me, he said, I just wake up with a new woman every day.
Yeah.
So it's easy. But that's an attitude. See, that's an attitude of commitment. So that you turn around and you go, this person is different now. And if I give myself permission to experience that, said it is always fresh, it is always new, it is always exciting. And they can change on a dime. People change so quickly in an environment that fosters change. If they're an environment that doesn't allow it, so they'll stay there. They're changing, but they're changing into the same thing in a very confined space.
I think us adults, I reckon majority of us, because we grew up with parents who were emotionally stunted, and they grew up with parents who were emotionally stunted. I was emotionally stunted, and I emotionally stunted my kids, right?
Yeah,
So I'm kind of glad that at least I started changing around when my boys were about 13, 14.
yeah,
And they're now 22 and 23, and they're still learning how to emotionally process their emotions. And I'm still learning of how to let them
yeah,
and not take it personally,
yeah,
right? Because I love getting involved in everybody's freaking processes, right? Which is a clear sign of my emotional unintelligence.
yeah.
Because when we make it about ourselves, we're just taking it away from them. And this is the great, like, so all my practitioners, I talk about this. You'll see me do this. The best thing you can do, especially when you're a rescuer, a helper, you want everything to be happy. That's really about yourself. That's not about the situation, by the way. That's self-preservation. And so what I do is anybody watching the videos here, Jason laughs
Yeah,
about it. I hold my lips together, and in my head, I'm just going, just shut up, Emma.
yeah, that's
Just
it.
shh, don't say anything.
Yeah,
And then what I'll do in my head to become really present, I will, I will repeat the words in my head of what that person's saying.
yeah,
Because I want to be there. Because if I'm in my head, I am not, I've checked out.
yeah. You're not in the present moment.
I'm not in the present moment. So it's a practice. And I'm nailing it. I haven't nailed it, but I'm nailing it. Like I'm in deep practice of it. But it's something that we have to do, and we have to go for ourselves as well. There's a question that I always ask myself: if I'm having a reaction to this, what emotion do I need to process?
Yeah,
And it's usually shame for me,
yeah,
because if my child's not having a good day, what does that mean about me as a parent? And it's got nothing to do with me. It's just
yeah,
my son's having a crap day,
yeah,
or my husband's had a shitty day or something. But my ego will I will take it personally.
yeah,
And that's okay, because it's part of the process of that learning about the emotion. It gets easier, I promise. But it's about, oh, that's right. That's not about me. It's about me being here for Anthony right now. Oh, that's right. It's not about me. It's about being here for my best friend right now. I'm just one of the people who are the supporter right now. Does it mean anything about me?
yeah,
And I think this is really important. I think it's really important for people to go, well, if I'm having an emotional reaction to somebody else's emotions, what does that mean for me? Why is that so hard for me? And don't process it right in the moment when that person's obviously needing you, but just keep it in the back of your head, write it down in a journal and go, okay, let's look into this.
yeah,
This is where you need a therapist, by the way. You need someone to hold you. That's why you need a
yeah,
mentor. You need a mentor is great, because I think a mentor's way deeper than a therapist. A therapist will go, yep, yep, yep. A mentor will go, well, why are you choosing that?
yeah.
A mentor will sit you and really put you into responsibility, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's probably not what you want. That's what you need.
That's what you need. Yeah, you're probably not going to want that at all.
There's a difference between want and need, but that's what you need. And the thing is, as human beings, we're always going for what feels really good in the moment. And that's what we have to have, that emotional intelligence and go, I'm willing to be uncomfortable in this moment.
Yeah.
It's okay to be uncomfortable because I know if I'm uncomfortable now, I can shed that. So I was just talking to Jason before we jumped on here. I think you all know that Jason's my mentor. And I had a big thing happen to me yesterday where I got caught out on something that I did a year ago that I'm not proud of myself for it. And I was gossiping. And uh actually I actually don't think I was gossiping. I was venting about something that I thought was very safe with this person. And there's what do you call it, Jason? The carrier? Like you
The
carry.
carrying it gossip. Yeah. I'll pull that apart. Yeah. Can I pull that apart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just for a second. So it's a very important thing is that sometimes we need to vent because there's frustration. We
Yes.
can look at it, we're frustrated, we're processing.
Yeah.
So we need to get it out so that we can look at it. And that's okay. Everybody does that. So where it becomes gossip is where you vent to me, I carry that and I give it to other people.
Yeah.
So that's where it's gossip. Gossip is absolutely destructive on every level.
Yeah. And I learned a lesson that I have to be more discerning of who I vent to. I've got two people who I know it's in the vault. One's Jason, another one's another girlfriend, right? And it's in the vault. And I think I was looking for validation. So I told probably four people rather than my normal two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was fulfilling a need. I'm breaking this down as I'm talking about it. I feel that I was fulfilling a need within my ego to be right.
Yeah.
So I definitely wasn't in my soul aligned authenticity. And we talk a lot about being authentic and integral. So what happened? I told this person, and then this person didn't just share it with one or two, decided to put a post on Facebook and named and shamed,
Yeah.
said names. So it went out to thousands of people. I was mortified. And I thought this is a year ago, a whole 12 months ago. I thought it was over and done with. This person who I told this news to has been on a bit of a vendetta against this other woman and decides to post another thing a whole year later.
Yeah.
And I messaged and I said, dude, it's been a year. Right? And this person keeps talking about integrity and authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think we need to visit this. This woman, so she'll claim that she made $25,000 this week or whatever. It doesn't matter if she is or not. Integrity, she is in integrity to her own belief systems.
Yeah.
She's not deliberately going, I'm going to fuck people over and I'm going to rip people up. She's not. She's not doing that. It's not in her to do that. She's just playing a different game to how we play it. And I also feel that for me, I don't do business this way. I don't tell people that if you come and jump in with me, you'll make $25,000 in a week. I don't know what you're going to make. You're going to make what your belief systems and how much you want to work and how much you work within the universal laws. That's how much you're going to make, right? And it's none of my business how much you make because you could make $25,000 every year and kill yourself in 6 months because you still hate yourself.
Yeah. That's right.
So I would rather you fall in love with yourself and then the money just pours in that way, right? But we also need polarity. And there is no wrong or right. it makes it all equal.
Can you expand a little bit about the polarity?
Yes. So polarity is, you need hot water to know that that's cold water.
Yeah,
You need light to know that it's dark, vice versa.
yeah.
Right?
So it's the contrast that
It's the
provides, isn't it?
contrast. Yeah, it's the contrast. So if something is triggering me, especially in business, there's two questions I ask myself. One, where's my wound? So things can only upset me if I have an open wound so that I haven't healed. And it's usually that wound is something from my past or I'm doing this somewhere in my life, right? And usually, so if I'm looking at somebody on Facebook and they're going, you can make $1 million in 2 minutes, and I go, that's bullshit. That's not true. Why am I so upset about this? Where am I lying to myself?
Yeah,
And it's always to myself. Well, 99.9% of the time, it's to myself.
yeah,
It's not usually to anybody else because this is why we're on this earth. We're on this earth to heal our wounds, to elevate and upgrade our soul journey, right?
yeah,
So, well, that's my belief anyway. So everything is about how can I stop bullshitting myself?
yeah,
Where can I keep it real with myself? So I had what I love about the mentoring is you have such a great space to go, I really fucked up.
yeah.
And then, so yesterday, all this stuff came out on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, I felt sick. I was getting my nails done, by the way, right? So I'm in Airport West getting my nails
You,
done.
you weren't in the zone to
I
be
wasn't
able
in
to
the
deal with
zone.
that. Yeah,
It was Sunday, right? I had the best, beautiful day, Sunday afternoon. And my my friend had screenshot all these posts and I didn't read them from this woman. And I tell you why, because the person who screenshot the post was being a gossiper. They were
yeah.
carrying the news because
And gossip.
this post wasn't for me. She had blocked me.
Yeah,
That post wasn't for me. If I'm not seeing it, if I'm not hearing it from the person, don't tell me about it
no.
because then
It's
it's gossip.
yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful. I remember years ago I heard an interview with Marianne Williamson from
Yeah,
Course in Miracles, and I remember she was asked about how she deals with being attacked in the media.
yeah.
And she said, like, it used to devastate her. She used to
Mm,
come home and just weep
mm.
because of what people were saying about her. But she came to the realization that people can say whatever they want about you, but they can't make it true.
That's right.
And the thing that's really important about that is that's about integrity. And that's also, and some of you are going to be listening to what I just said and go, yeah, that's right. It's not true. It's like, no, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Don't make it fucking true.
Yeah.
Don't do things that make that plausible. If people are looking at you and go, if somebody's saying this is what you're doing, and you go, well, I'm not doing that, the next question is, what am I doing that makes that believable?
Yeah.
Because people should just go, ah, that's nonsense, and it should go no further. But the fact that it goes further is because people are going, wait a minute, I can believe that. There's an element of plausibility in that.
I think everything is a teachable moment. And even though I felt sick yesterday about it, and not for myself, because I know it's not who I am today.
Yeah,
It was who I was a year ago, but it's not who I am today. And I just sent so much love to this woman because I know the environment she's in. I know who she's hanging out with. They're all the same and they think they're doing a great job and they probably are in some way. And it's taught this woman, I can't tell you, out of her, the way she does business, I went so far the other way because it was 2 weeks before Jason's and my first retreat. And it hyper elevated our retreat. Now, Jason and I are doing our fourth retreat in 1 year,
yeah,
exactly 1 year. our fourth
Wow.
retreat, and we have filled every single retreat,
Yep.
right? We don't pay for ads, nothing like that. It's just organic, right? And there's a reason to it. And I have to thank this other woman for the way she runs her business because it made me go so far into high level integrity of not my integrity, but the integrity of what we are delivering.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to explain that a bit. If I go through my integrity, I've still got belief systems running in the background that aren't great. But Jason's and my business has only one belief system, and that's to elevate people into their deepest healing,
Yep.
right? And to get tangible results. That's it. That's the only
Tangible
belief we
results.
have it. That's it.
Yep.
Has a spirit all of its own.
Yep.
And I tell you about spirit. So Jason and I, when was it? December, something like that, 2 years ago. And I just said to Jay, I went, why aren't we working together? And he goes,
Yeah.
bloody question. It was an inspiration. If you look at the word inspiration, it has the word spirit in it.
Yeah.
Anytime you have an inspiration, delve into it because it is a direct message from spirit. We have spirit inside of us. We have a direct thread of spirit inside of us. Source spirit, right? The divine creator, God, whatever you want to call it. That is telling you as if you're inspired, if you have a thing of inspiration, that is spirit telling you you are more than capable of what I'm reminding you that you can do.
Yeah.
Go
Yep.
do it. Go
Yeah.
do it. Even if you do it shitty, just do it. Right? It's going to happen. So Jason's and my business, Soul Aligned Results, has its own spirit. It has its own energy, its own entity. Our belief systems, we work on not letting our shitty belief systems and our emotional stunted shit get in the way of this.
Yeah.
And that's why it runs so well. That's why we fill retreats and everything like that. So this is polarity. We need these other therapists and we need these other mentors to help us go, I'm triggered by that post. I don't like it. I don't like their message. I don't like what they're about. So where am I playing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I doing about that? So if I don't like it, am I doing this to me? Am I doing this to somebody else? Am I doing it anywhere? Have a look like, oh, yes, I am. Shit. Okay. Sort that out.
Yeah.
Sort it out immediately. So yesterday, you this is where I know I am emotionally growing because I don't fear the feeling of shame anymore. I use the shame to help me elevate. And I know it's going to be and I'm going to feel gross and I'm going to feel foul and I'm going to feel embarrassed and yucky and ashamed and God, all those things. And I allow it. And then I go, right now that I felt that, it literally takes about 15, 20 minutes of me feeling like crap. It used to take months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, or I would drink.
Yeah.
I'd numb it out. I don't numb it out now. I just go, oh, I'm in it. Yep. I can see my part that I played in it because if I'm part of a drama, I'm I'm playing an act in it as well. I've
Yeah.
got an acting role in it. So I have to look at my script. What did my script say? What happened? And I know what happened. I told somebody I had no right in talking about this woman to this person. It was none of their business. It was not my business. And there's a different way. And I was gossipy, not gossipy about it, but I was bitchy about it.
Yeah.
I was getting into it, and this person was like, "Oh my God, people are like this." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh, I can't believe," and I got really into it. And it was like the old Emma came up, that private girls' school, Catholic girls, that bitch. that bitch came out to play that day. Well, that bitch came and kicked me in the ass a year later. Yeah, it was yesterday when
That's
I was getting
exactly
my nails
right.
done. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I got that lesson handed to me. And I am so, so sorry that I played that,
Mm.
you know. But what I love is Jason and I going into a retreat in 17 days. We're holding space for another 10 beautiful, beautiful people from all over the place. And I've just elevated myself again for these people
Yeah.
because lo and behold, they're going to come up with the same stuff. And I go, oh, I'm 2 weeks ahead of you. Now, you can do this, and this. Because that's what it's about. It's about us, elevate ourselves and just be the inspiration for other people. Because the more you nag people, the more you're telling them they're not in control of themselves, and the more they will stick their heels in and they won't do it.
Yeah. It's always that opportunity for growth. It's
That's
it's
it.
hard though. It is very hard. You have to deal with that. So you life there's always an element of pain in life.
Yes.
But you really do get the choice about where you want it to be. And you can have like um, very short-term pain of responsibility in the moment, or you can have the long, drawn-out suffering type pain of what your life becomes because you don't take responsibility. And
Yeah.
you always have that choice. So I want to say something here. I just want to call something on this for a minute because I think it's easy to misinterpret what you just said. Because when you just said about that, about the gratitude for it, that's that's leaving out a little bit. So the
Yes.
bit you and I
Listen to
talked
this,
about,
everybody. Listen to this
yeah,
bit. I know what Jason's going to say. This is
yeah.
amazing. Go for it.
So the thing is about the being grateful about the opportunity. This is what most people do in spiritual work. They look at it and they go, "Oh, I did this. I got these bad results. I'm so grateful that I've got this." And now they feel good about themselves and off they go. And it's like, no, because what you did do is you actually then, when you found out about this, you then stepped up, you took action, you talked to people and said, hey, this has to end. This is what I have to own it. I have to own my place in it. We can be grateful for the opportunity, but if we don't act upon that opportunity, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And the big thing about it is like it's really a thing about forgiveness. We can say sorry to somebody, but if we don't immediately change, because there's two parts to any act of forgiveness. The first is that I acknowledge my participation in this, and then I let you know that I acknowledge that. That's the saying sorry bit. The other bit is that I make a commitment not to do it again. And
Yeah.
I deliberately act upon that to make sure that's not happening. Because we've all been on the receiving end of somebody that says sorry and then nothing changes, and sorry and then nothing changes,
Yeah. It's
right? It's worthless.
it's
So,
one
yeah,
of the things that I tell all my couples. I say never say sorry again. Say thank you for putting up with me.
yeah,
Because the word sorry, people have a negative anchor towards it. It's a false promise.
yeah,
And that's a big one. The false promise of being sorry. Because sorry means I fucked up and I won't do that again. But then they do it again. And then they do it
yeah,
again. Oh, yeah, but I'm sorry. Yeah, just because you said you're sorry doesn't make it's okay.
yeah.
It's very interesting. This has been a really good podcast. There's been a lot in this one.
It's very interesting. Very, very interesting, you know.
It's
So,
the
yeah,
year of the snake. So much has been happening.
yeah, yeah, it's been crazy.
I
We're
gotta
both,
tell you, if
we're
this is
both forward.
February,
So,
right? So
yeah,
we're recording this February, what, 3rd or something. We're only not even a week into the year of the snake, and I guess
yeah,
it's had me on my ass. But look for the opportunity. Don't keep doing the same thing you're doing and wanting a different result. We've got to change our behaviors and we have to own our behaviors. And it's okay to feel embarrassed by what we've done. We're human. It's okay to face the embarrassment of what we've done or what we've said or how we've handled things. But we've got to stop. If we're feeling bad, I think one of the big things is we've got to stop asking people to join us in our feelings of feeling shit.
Yeah.
Because it can be lonely.
It's
So instead
awesome.
of calling, if you're feeling hurt, don't hurt somebody else so you're feeling like you've got company. Change your feeling into happiness, then call people in.
Yeah. Yeah. The deliberate choice is so important.
Yeah, we all have the choices. And if you don't know how, reach out.
Yeah.
Just reach out. This is what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what we do. And we're going through stuff. Like this is it. I love that we get to do these podcasts because we get to share in real time what's going on in our lives and how we're elevating and how we're changing and what we're going through. And this thing bit me on the ass. I thought it was done and dusted. I hadn't thought about it or heard about it or anything for a year. And I'm like, oh my God, this stuff's still playing.
Yeah.
And I feel we need to stop being the integrity police of other people. I think we just need to look at it all as a beautiful, I look at everything is correspondence to me.
Yeah.
Everything is correspondence, good, bad, or indifferent. It's just correspondence. Correspondence meaning it's just something showing me where I can either go, oh, yeah, sweet, I'm doing well. Or you can do better there. Or, oh, Emma, you really messed that shit up. It's just correspondence. And then it's everything is an opportunity. Absolutely everything is an opportunity. Do you want to share anything before we sign off, Jason?
No, I think that's pretty good, Emma. That's good. I think you should have it by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever we're saying, you should have. So,
Yeah, guys.
thank
Um,
you all.
we really encourage you to have a look on our website. We've always got goodies happening there and master classes, and there's always old master classes you can have a look at. It's called soulalignedresults.com.au. Does it have AU at the end? I freaking never know.
Well,
Oh
don't ask
God,
me.
we're
I'm worse than
so
you.
not good at this, are we? Anyway,
All right, we're going to restructure this from the next episode.
we have to restructure this. I need a sign somewhere. It's so bad. Anyway, guys, please message us. We're on Facebook. You can always email us, whatever. I'm Emma at emmaromano.com.au. You can just email. I'll send them on to Jason. We would love to hear from you. We've got retreats coming up. We've got live events coming up. We've got Zoom events coming up. Let us know what you want from us and we shall provide. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.